Hey there, how you doing today? This is Seth from the RE Tipster blog, and today I'm going to show you in just a few minutes how to take a property that you own and list it for sale on this website here called Zillow, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with it. And the nice thing about Zillow is that it's a huge name in the real estate world. So if you can get it here on this site, it's going to go a long way in getting your property information out in front of as many eyeballs as possible. And the great thing about it is it's free. It doesn't cost anything. And if you got a few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact steps you have to go through to get your property listed. And as you'll see, it's really pretty simple and it doesn't take a long time at all. If you don't have a Zillow account, you'll have to go and click up here where it says join and create one. But if you do have an account, all you got to do is click sign in here and enter in your typical information. So I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, now once you're signed in, it's a pretty easy, flowing, naturally intuitive process. All you have to do is start by entering in the property address. And in my case, I've actually got a vacant land parcel that I'm trying to sell in kind of a remote area, and it doesn't even have an address. So all I'm going to do is start by just putting in the street name, because that's all I've got. And then this is in a small town in Michigan called Baldwin. Hit Michigan, zip code, and then I'm good to go. Hit continue. And like I mentioned, this property does not have an actual registered street address. So in cases like this, you do have to know the parcel number. And luckily I do have that. And if you don't have it, it's pretty simple. You just have to find it on your county assessor website, or you can go ahead and give the county a call and figure it out that way. But once you've got that parcel number, you just put it right in here. And then it's going to bring you to this page where it shows a map of your property, and that dot should be right over the property. However, in this case, because there's no address, the mapping system doesn't really have anything to go by. And the cool thing about Zillow is that if it's not right, you can go ahead and click this thing here and say, no, let me change it. And assuming you actually do know where it is, you can zoom out with this map and then find it. And in this case, I do happen to know exactly where it's at. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. And the property is right about here. So I'm going to click right there, and then there we have it. The dot shows pretty much exactly where that property is. So once that's all set, we're going to click save and continue and move on to the next step. And then you just start by entering in your price. So I'm going to put $9,900 just as my starting point. I did notice that Zillow offers the opportunity to include a video walkthrough of the property. And if you click on this, it shows you more about how that works. And in my case, I've got an actual YouTube video that I uploaded. It's just a really quick 30-second video. So I'm just going to take that link and put it right here just because that's easier for now. And then assuming you've got some photos, I've got a few set aside here that are ready to go. You can just go ahead and drag them right into the browser and do it like this. And then those will upload. One thing you'll notice about these right here, they're actually smaller resolution images. So you'll see this little exclamation point, just letting you know that they may not display quite as good because the resolution is not that great. But assuming that's not an issue, you just go on here and keep scrolling down. For the lot size, this is a 1 acre lot. So we'll go ahead and click that and then do 1 acre. If for some reason your property is smaller than 1 acre, you would have to put it in square feet, which is a little annoying. I'm hoping they're going to change that feature at some point, but it would just be a matter of going ahead and doing a acres to square feet conversion. And you can do that simply by Googling acres to square feet. And then you get this little calculator right here. It's pretty nice. Say if this was 0.5 acres, right there, you've got 21,780. So you would just take that number and plop it right in here like that. But again, given my situation, this is a 1 acre parcel, so I'm just going to do it this way. And then for the property description, you just go ahead and put it here. And then if you had another website URL to put in here, say if it was like you're selling a website or a dedicated real estate agency or investor website where you have all your information, you could put that here as well. I'll just put my blog URL here just for kicks. And then down here, you can put your primary phone number so that people can contact you. So you just go ahead and do it like this. And then click this thing down here. And then say post for sale by owner. And then you can go ahead and view the listing. Let's see what it looks like. All right, and as you can see, this listing looks pretty much exactly the way it would if a real estate agent listed it. You've got the pictures here, you've got a map. If I did have a video uploaded through Zillow, it would show up right here. Then you can go ahead and scroll through here and, maximize some of the other images and see those, and it all looks really good. Go ahead and close that. And as you scroll down here, you can see the property description I put in there. We can view this virtual tour, and this was the YouTube link that I uploaded. So you can see the video. It's just that you have to leave the site in order to see it. So once that is done, I'm just going to pause that. Go back here. You can see some of this information. It may or may not be available or applicable, but it's pretty hard to distinguish this from what you would normally see with just a standard MLS listing. I think it's pretty cool. I use it all the time. It's pretty much a staple in my selling process because let's be honest, if I don't take the time to go through these motions and do this, I'm just ignoring a huge audience of people, many of whom would gladly buy my property. So it really is in my best interests to do this and make sure all my properties are listed here through Zillow. And with a price tag of free, I think most people would agree. It's kind of hard to argue with that. So anyway, that is how the Zillow for sale by owner listing service works. If you're not using it, you should be. Be sure to check it out next time you got a property to sell and get your property out for the masses to see. Hopefully you found that helpful, and I wish you all the best in getting your property sold.